Episode number 250. 37 Milady's Secret. D'Artagnan left the hotel, instead of going up at once to Kitty's chamber, as she endeavored to persuade him to do, and that for two reasons. The first, because by this means he should escape reproaches, recriminations, and praise. The second, because he was not sorry to have an opportunity of reading his own thoughts, and endeavoring, if possible, to fathom those of this woman. What was most clear in the matter was that D'Artagnan loved Milady like a madman, and that she did not love him at all. In an instant D'Artagnan perceived that the best way in which he could act would be to go home and write Milady a long letter, in which he would confess to that he and the words were, up to the present moment, absolutely the same, and that consequently he could not undertake, without committing suicide, to kill the Comte de Wardes. But he also was spurred on by a ferocious desire of vengeance. He wished to subdue this woman in his own name, and as this vengeance appeared to him to have a certain sweetness in it, he could not make up his mind to renounce it. He walked 6 or 7 times round the Place Royal, turning at every 10 steps to look at the light in Milady's apartment, which was to be seen through the blinds. It was evident that this time the young woman was not in such haste to return to her apartment as she had been the first. At length the light disappeared. With this light was extinguished the last irresolution in the heart of D'Artagnan. He recalled to his mind the details of the first night, and with a beating heart and a brain on fire he entered the hotel, and flew toward Kitty's chamber. The poor girl, pale as death, and trembling in all her limbs, wished to delay her lover, but Milady, with her ear on the watch, had heard the noise D'Artagnan had made, and opening the door, said, "Come in." All this was of such incredible modesty, of such monstrous effrontery, that D'Artagnan could scarcely believe what he saw, or what he heard. He imagined himself to be drawn into one of those fantastic intrigues one meets in dreams. He, however, darted not the less quickly toward Milady, yielding to that magnetic attraction which the lodestone exercises over Anne. As the door closed after them, Kitty rushed toward it. Jealousy, fury, offended pride, all the passions in short that dispute the heart of an outraged woman in love, urged her to make a revelation, but she reflected that she would be totally lost if she confessed having assisted in such a machination, and above all, that D'Artagnan would also be lost to her forever. This last thought of love counseled her to make this last sacrifice. D'Artagnan, on his part, had gained the summit of all his wishes. It was no longer a rival who was beloved, it was himself who was apparently beloved. A secret voice whispered to him, at the bottom of his heart, that he was but an instrument of vengeance, that he was only caressed till he had given death. But pride, but self-love, but madness silenced this voice, and stifled its murmurs. And then a Gascon, with that large quantity of conceit, which we know he possessed, compared himself with the Wardes, and asked himself why, after all, he should not be beloved for himself,